every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Let Out. I got my co-host, Alicia, and my other co-host, Chris. What's up? We got a great show. We're going to start today's show off. We're going to talk about a few topics. One of the topics we're going to talk about is interracial dating and the hardships of that. And we also want to talk about women and how it seems like they'll talk but won't let you talk. I'm gonna put it like that. It's about as
that was that topic I brought up. That was a topic I brought up a couple weeks ago, man.
Right.
I was just kind of curious to see, you know, how does that work? You know, it happens to me all the time. I'll say that. You're in a conversation with a woman, and you know, it just seems like she'll get what she wants to say out, but when it's your turn to respond, this shut down time. Fuck that.
Right.
I want to get that out the room. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, we only, tonight we only got one perspective on that end, but we also do have a different perspective from me dealing with a woman. So I think that should make for an interesting topic. And then, of course,
I'm gonna try to rap for the ladies.
Hey, man, do what you can do. We about to do it to you, though. But the other topic is, of course, our infamous surprise topic. But hey, sit down, grab your drink. We don't have drinks tonight, but drink with us, conversate, have this topic on your own, like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you think. All right, so we'll start with Alicia. She got her drink. We'll start with Alicia. Let us know. We really want to know what the problem is. Like, what does that come from? Chris really wants to know.
Yeah, I want to know. Well, I'm speaking for me. And it's typically when there is a serious topic or a serious discussion that's being talked about, it's usually because we're bringing it to you. So I got an issue. I'm feeling away. I want to have a talk about it. So
do you want to vent or do you want to talk? I'm gonna cut you off right there.
I want to talk. That's why I'm coming to you to have a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah?
One way or two way?
It's initially one way once I get it off my chest. Then once it's on the table, then it's two ways. Okay?
Is it really two way? Okay, go ahead, finish.
I mean, y'all trying to come for me a little bit right now, and I don't.
Extra early. Okay? I'm at it. Look,
but
near and dear to me.
But usually though, we're bringing a conversation to y'all that we want to have a discussion about. We're feeling away. It's something that we got on our chest. So in the midst of me trying to get my feelings out and how I'm feeling, what's bothering me, here you come with your shit. You got any other time to come to the table to bring me your issues, your concerns. But when I want to come to you and I make out time for my shit, here you go with yours. I don't want to hear it. Don't try to go ahead. Don't try to go ahead and take away from my issues with your issues. If you got a problem, then you need to go ahead and set aside time and ask me when it's a good time that I am ready to listen and to hear you. Don't overshadow my shit with your shit, okay?
What I'm talking about is in response to your shit.
Hold up. Is that question in the back? Hold on. Am I being punked?
Man, I swear, we got to be.
Did you just say that? Like, what the?
I said it, and I mean it 100%.
No.
Are you serious? No, come on, man.
That's like you trying to steal my man. You can't steal my man.
No, you know black people do that. That's gonna be another topic too. That's gonna be another topic too. Can we talk about that on another show? Chris, just like you got yours off today, I'm gonna get mine off on the next episode. I'm gonna keep stealing man, but we'll talk about it later.
Yes. But that's how it feels though when you come in and you start trying to intrude your stuff, your issues, what's bothering you on top of mine. It feels like you trying to steal my thunder. You trying to steal my money.
Well, here's the thing.
Steal my man. No,
let me say this. Like, it's not that we're trying to steal your man. It's what we're trying to do is we're saying, okay, in response to your issue, this is what caused your issue. There has to be dialogue. If you don't let me get that dialogue, if you don't let me get my piece of it. That's not
how the conversation goes. Usually it's like, oh, so you trying to go ahead and tell me about the stuff that I'm not doing? Well, let me give you this laundry list of shit that you're not doing. And that is theft. That is theft. That is robbery. Nigga. That has a penalty of 10 years.
Hold on.
I'm checking out.
Alicia.
This is the time where the women quit right here.
Yeah,
there ain't no more conversation.
It's over. Like, that's a fact. It'd be like, look, how the fuck did you not give me the money that I needed for my hair to get done? Well,
you remember I paid for you to get your car fixed, this, that.
Right.
All that.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Like, how can you say, here's the thing about it. whenever you come as passionate as the average person, especially a woman, y'all extra passionate when it's some shit y'all want or ain't getting. So if you extra passionate about it and you want to tell us what we not doing, to be honest with you, don't step to the table if you ain't got room. Like if you ain't got no room to move the furniture, don't step to the table. Because my thing is, you're not about to come to me passionate. You're not about to come to me passionate with your ass on your neck, telling me about what I ain't did, and then you didn't. I mean, example, I done told y'all this before. So what I do is I might say, I hear, okay, why the fuck you keep leaving your clothes and your shoes on the floor, Willie? I'm like, okay. So I can't get you back. So what happens is the shit that I put on the floor.
Shit you left on the counter.
I put not even just that though, Chris. I put the shit on top of her shit. So when she come and say, I pick up my shit and show her shit. Be like, yo, that's my thing. You got to have room to talk. You can't call somebody lazy while you're on the couch. You just can't do it.
But you know what? When y'all come and y'all try to bring your problems to our discussion, it feels like similar
this
to
is a two-way discussion, though.
No, it feels like when we say Black Lives Matter and then people come back and say all lives matter. It's like, okay, I'm not saying that your issue or your race doesn't matter, but right now, the topic at hand is Black Lives Matter, our lives matter. So it's the same thing. When we come to the table, I got my issues and things I want to talk about. It's not that your shit don't matter, but this ain't the time.
Okay, so when is the time? When we come with our shit and tell y'all, hey, this is what I got, and boom, boom, boom. Now y'all got a list of shit that y'all do that prevented y'all from doing the shit we asked you to. the same stuff you and Sylvia talk about on the episodes. You know, I come home, don't disregard my value to the household. I cook, I clean, I buy the groceries, I do this. Y'all want to put the list out there when it's our time to talk. But then when y'all want to talk, y'all don't want to hear shit. Y'all don't want to hear I pay the bills, I pay this, I pay that. The conversation is over after. And then what Chris is talking about
is the subject at hand, which is the issue that I brought to the table. And then you bring your own issues to a whole nother conversation on another day. Okay, don't take away my shine and my light, my issues, and try to minimize it.
Why you feel like my issue is gonna take away from your shine though?
Because I need you to walk away from the conversation fresh on mind what we just discussed and what we just talked about.
We can't do that with both our issues being discussed.
No, y'all can't focus like that like we can. We can go ahead and hold different things and go ahead and take away from what we said and what y'all said. Y'all are not able to do so.
Okay? Because what happened is we'll bring a spotlight to that candle food.
That's a fact.
We know how to compartmentalize and to go ahead and to take away from our issues and also to go ahead and to have y'all's issues. Y'all can't. Y'all need to walk away fresh with whatever we just discussed and told y'all need to work on your mind. Y'all have a hard time paying attention and listening to the shit that we talk about.
Next time I'm gonna hit you with the Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish, but nigga, you don't get this, that, and that.
That's a fact.
That's petty though.
That's not petty. See, and then you know what?
That's not even good communication.
Hold on.
No, you see that? Then they want to minimalize.
Yo, that's what they do. What they do is, I'm gonna tell you. I swear to God, I tell mine this all the time. What y'all do is when we want some shit, or we tell y'all about y'allself, it's petty. But when y'all tell us about the shit,
it's not that you're telling a
it's an issue at hand.
That don't make it petty. It's when you choose to talk to me about myself. Like if I bring something to you and then you try to tit for tat and bring some shit up about me, that is petty.
Y'all don't do that?
You haven't complained about it at any point in time, but the moment
I have. You just didn't give a damn.
That's it.
Then you should have revisited at a different time then.
No, I have, but it just don't matter.
It just don't matter.
It don't matter. It's accepted and push the fuck on. That's what y'all.
Like we talked about before with communication, you need to make sure that you are communicating with your mate, your woman, at a time when she is receptive. And usually, if she is in her feelings, that is not the time. Boo.
Man, look. Okay, well,
when is a woman not in her feelings?
Because y'all emotional as hell.
That is sexist, and that is not true.
Y'all said that. I'm pretty sure we can pull up several clips where y'all have said that. We are
vulnerable, sensitive creatures, but we are not always in our feelings at all times. Okay, that is not.
You said emotional was the word that you used.
No, I would say you're right. Not all the time, but a vast majority of the time.
No,
y'all
more
really
often than not.
That's a fact. Anything over 50%.
Like y'all don't get defensive when somebody brings some shit to you about yourself. Y'all
because y'all doing the same shit. That's when we be petty. They're like, how the fuck is you gonna tell me about washing the dishes and you ain't washed them in the last 2 weeks? How can you do that? How can a conscious, thoughtful, considerate mind have the gall to tell me something that I'm not doing if they're not doing it? I don't get that.
And you know what? And what I think it is, and at least I kind of want to ask this, and this is one of those times where I wish Sylvia was with us today. The question I have is, women, do y'all feel like that the man is about to bring some logical reason to the conversation, and you can't have that logic right now in your emotional?
That has nothing to do with nothing. We are logical creatures. We can deal with
logic.
Yes, the hell we can.
You're not. I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
To be honest with you, your name is Aisha. I'm taking the L out of y'all name. Women don't know anything with the letter L in it. Loss, logic. Y'all know late, but y'all don't know shit else. Y'all don't know shit else. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'm trying to put y'all on game and tell y'all how it is to communicate with your spouses, with your woman, and how to go ahead and to get your feelings across. Y'all not listening because y'all are too busy trying to defend your stance instead of listening to where I'm coming from.
No, I'm listening to where you're coming from.
You're not.
And I'll be honest. The reality is, at least we don't really give a fuck. I really want to tell you the same way that you want to get out what you want to say and then be done with it, I'm the same way. I want to get it out too.
That's a
I
fact.
don't give a fuck how you feeling in the moment.
So how can we be even? It goes back to evenly yoked.
Oh Lord, he pulled the Bible out, Jesus.
It goes back. I'm just saying, if y'all want to be even, then treat us, do unto others as as you want them to do unto you. That ain't even the Bible. That's a golden rule. You don't even need the Bible for that. Right. Treat people like you want to be treated. If you want,
and that's fine. I don't think that women have a problem hearing you. It's just that in this moment, it's just in this moment, I'm wanting to be heard. Now you can choose another time when you want to be heard.
On your own terms. You finish saying what you say.
That's a fact.
Say what you got to say, and then I'm ready to stop. I want to be heard right after that. I'm cool with it. I ain't gonna let you go first. But you gonna listen to what I gotta say after.
And then go walk off and say the conversation over with. Y'all got that shit bad. How the fuck you gonna, man, y'all
I don't walk away. No, that's not true. Now I want resolution when I'm
yeah, because it's your problem.
I don't walk off like that.
If it was his problem, you'll walk the hell off.
Now we'll get quiet, but I don't walk off.
That's the problem. Quiet as hell. At this point, I feel like I'm talking to a damn wall.
Now let you be quiet in the conversation. Motherfucker, now you ain't even listening. You just gonna sit there and ignore me. Then we gonna walk off with the same goddamn problem, and you gonna be satisfied till I leave. That type of shit. I mean, I don't get it. Hey, I mean, you know, we're not gonna get the answer to our question because we're not getting.
You got the answer. I gave you the answer. Stop trying to discuss shit when we trying to discuss shit. Point blank, period. Next caller.
This is what I'm gonna do. Logic.
Next caller.
I need y'all to get some logic. All right.
Next caller.
Anything with L's, Aisha. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is this is something that I want to know. I know a tad bit, but I don't know enough. And now that we found out about women, we want to find out about dating another type of woman or a male. And I want to know, like, how is it?
What you talking about? Like a trans? What are you talking about?
Hey, you ain't switching. Oh, we ain't going to the other side.
He was like a different type of man and a different type of woman. I'm like, what the hell type of person are you talking about?
I mean, well, I was going with race.
Okay, I'm just checking.
yeah, don't let Atlanta do that to y'all. Look, Atlanta cool, but we'll be good over here. But now, I want to know, like, when you're dating a different type, like, you know, the stick with your own rule is out of here these days, and I want to know what it's like. You know, what's the hardships of interracial dating? What are some of the things that you go through, and is it any different from dating same race people? So what are your thoughts on that, Chris?
Okay, I'm gonna jump in first. I want to say that for the most part, honestly, no, there's not really a big difference from dating someone that's black versus someone that's of any other race. You know, I've said on here plenty of times that my fiance is Latina, and with that being said, man, eventually you forget who you looking at, and your ass is just getting on my nerves, whether you black, blue, green, yellow, or brown.
Right.
So, and I think that happens with pretty much any relationship at any point. You're gonna forget. I think one of the hardships, though, from time to time, and I'll let Alicia even back me up on this. Is sometimes is explaining or trying to get across cultural importances of certain things.
Okay.
I think that might come across from time to time, like okay, and I'll put the shoe on the other foot. Of course, whenever the whole Hispanic thing and our current government administration, their passion around immigration and like the wall and the discrimination, like I get it, but I may never get it to the level that they do. And I'm pretty sure that there are similar topics from a black person perspective that she may never get the same way that I do.
So do you find that then, I'll get to you, Alicia, because I want to hear your perspective as well.
Sure.
But do you find, Chris, that with that, it causes a disconnect or an issue, or are you guys able to, because it would seem like that it would be vice versa, where you could understand her plight and vice, you know what I'm saying, and she could understand yours. Like she has to, especially with you both being of minority, you know what I'm saying, and dealing with certain things, does it pose a problem in you know in the household where you know that those type of things come up?
No, not that I can think of. And I'm really just trying to think. I'm trying to really pick something. Other than, I would say, I really don't want to even say religion so much. Maybe just a little bit. You know,
Right.
most Latino people are Catholic.
I got you.
So a lot of them are Catholic. So kind of understanding like the thing when they're going through Lent and that kind of stuff. I'm like,
Right.
man, shit, I'm trying to eat what I want to eat all the time. I mean, I know
Right.
y'all eating fish this Friday, but
Right.
maybe I'm not being as supportive as I could be, as you know, maybe if I were part of it.
I got you.
I'm not as supportive, maybe.
I got you.
But
I got you.
I don't think we've ever ran across something that was so significantly different that it was an issue or something that we really needed to have a thorough discussion about.
Got you. I got you. Okay. Alicia, what's your take on it?
I mean, I agree with Chris to a certain extent in regards to, for the most part, you're dealing with the same type of issues at the core of it that any relationship would deal with. Sometimes it's not until, like, let's say, social issues or political issues kind of present themselves, and you get to talking and you see your mate's perspective, and it differs from yours.
Right.
And that's when it feels a little differently. Like for me, I'm passionate about things that affect
African Americans. Right.
Yes, I am. I'm Black. I have Black children.
You are?
And I'm definitely very passionate about things that affect Black men. I have 2 Black boys myself. So sometimes, you know, when race gets discussed.
No, your boys are African American. Go ahead.
No, they're Black. But
they're African American. They're a little on the red side. They're on the red side. They're a little red. Go ahead though.
They are, but they still 100% Black though.
I got you.
But sometimes when people say that, hey, you know, always bringing race up into different things, like everything don't have to be about race, but it's like at the end of the day,
it kind of is.
People see race, yes.
Right.
So to try to minimize it and say everything can't be about race, it's like, man, maybe you don't understand it because some of the different things that we've had to experience and we've had to watch.
Right.
You know, up until recently, that's when you really see Latinos or people of brown persuasion kind of being now coming into the forefront with the new administration. That's kind of where you see more of the racism coming in towards them. But before then, a lot of it was really isolated towards Black people.
Facts.
So sometimes there is a disconnect because I wonder, as a child, and we haven't really discussed it, but as a child, did you have to have your parents sit down and discuss with you about what to do when a police officer pulls you over, how to act, how to talk, how to move, don't reach for your driver's license? Like, those are conversations that I've had to have with my sons when he started driving. That was my first initial fear, was him coming into contact with a police officer and how that exchange can go. Right. He's a respectful, straight-A student, but in that moment, will any of that matter?
Nah.
So that comes down to when it's a disconnect, or when it's a Black man that's shot in the middle of the road and you don't see your mate have that same outrage,
right,
that same emotion as you do. It could be, yes, it's a disconnect.
Right.
I even think about from a Black and white perspective, with Black men with white women.
Right. Oh yeah, that has to be. Yeah, that's
it's a clear disconnect because there is one who's privileged and don't understand why didn't he just go ahead and just be still? Why did he resist? Like,
Right.
what
That's
the
not
fuck?
the same.
Right.
That is not the same. That does not equate to death
Right.
because of asking a question or reaching for your driver's license or asking why am I about to be arrested. That does not equate to and equal to murder.
Right.
When you see when something happens and we get to protesting and Black Lives Matter, those mates of those Black men are silent. And I would think that in some form or fashion, that's abandonment. And those same women have Black boys that they're mixed, but the world will see them as Black.
Oh, that's a fact.
So that is a disconnect.
Right.
So as much as we want to say that color shouldn't matter, and it doesn't, but those cultural differences and the way that the world sees us, it can go ahead and cause some division in your household when those topics come up. Because
you're expecting that person to have the same type of passion, especially, you know, if it's in the same household when I won't say that they can't, but it's really difficult because it just doesn't hit home. And that's just like with most things, it don't hit until it hit home. You know what I'm saying? Like so I can see where that is, like, you know, that's just a fact of life. So okay, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to know. Go ahead, Chris.
But I got a question. This is for either one of you, and I guess maybe it's directed toward Alicia. Do you think that there would be or is any different from interracial minority versus a minority with a white partner versus minority and minority?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think with minority, you still are gonna, like I said, I know that he's dealt with some prejudices.
He's closer to us. He's closer to what we deal with.
Yeah, so he's had some, like he said before, even when he was around, like he was raised around Black people, but he still stood out as the non-Black because he's Puerto Rican. Right. So there was still that level of discrimination and racism from us.
And see, but let me ask you this: I think with that, do we not understand that they deal with pretty much, you know, they should understand, because think about it, they're dealing with it with us, and they're dealing with it with, you know, the other races, just like we're dealing with it with some of them, and we're dealing with it with the other races. Not on the same level, but I'm saying as far as
the playing field is so different. Right. Because when I watch TV and I see who's getting shot in the street for having a cell phone, or who's getting shot in the street for asking for help with their car not working, or they're getting shot in the street because they're jogging. They're getting shot in the street because they have a cell phone in their grandmother's backyard. When I see it, I see Black faces. So
let me say this though, Alicia.
The playing fields are just different.
They are, but let me say this. Go ahead.
They have different struggles.
They have different struggles, but then you also got to look at it too. I think the light that the media has played on us, and to some of our fault, the negative light that we've shed on ourselves, has shaped the fear level and the rightfulness to do the things that they're doing. Like, and I'm not saying that the rightfulness, like they feel like it's right.
So should I fear all white people because white people lynched us, white people stole us from our families, they raped our women, so I should fear them?
If that's your only interaction, I feel and I think I see what you're saying. Like if I've never had an interaction with a Black person, and I'm being on the outside looking in, if I've never had an interaction with a Black person ever, all I know is what I've seen on TV. And
it depicts.
It looks like all the ones I see on TV.
It takes
tattoos on their tattoos everywhere.
Small mind to look at like that.
But Bob, that's all they see for the most part. I mean, they have interactions with us on a day-to-day, but a lot of what they see is one depiction. And
it's one dimension.
But do you even want to see? Do you want to even see though the other side of that depiction? A lot of times people know that what they know of one is what I see or what I've heard, but you also make no effort to go ahead and to learn about the other side or about other people.
I think they do, but that doesn't stop fear.
Yeah.
I think like I put it to you like this, like
we're so off topic, but go ahead.
I know we are, because I mean it's wonderful. We're gonna get to the last topic, but the thing about it is what I have white friends and people that I know, and they may be with me and they say, okay, this guy's, you know, pretty cool. I know Willie, I know this and I know that. But the way the mind works is after so many visions of seeing the same thing. That's how media works. Media works. They play off fear. They don't sell news, they sell fear.
But so, I can't excuse fear, because fear keeps getting us killed and shot like dogs.
No excuse.
So that for me is not acceptable to even to rationalize.
No. What I'm saying is, with us, that's why it seems like, that's why a lot more of us are in that light and getting shot and things like that, is because for over the years.
It's not fear, it's fucking racism.
Years and years. Racism is fear. It stems from fear.
No, racism stems from hate. It stems from an evil heart.
From fear. No. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you why. Like the beginning, slavery and all of that shit. Yeah, initially. However, when you look at the other parts of it, I'm not so sure. I think that it stems from them feeling some type of way.
They feel not having the advantage.
I'm telling you, you done had the advantage. They feel
not having the advantage. They feel being on an even playing field.
Man, when you look back and you see somebody catching up in the race.
Yeah, you like, hey.
You like, yo, how you think Usain Bolt will feel once he been winning so long, or Michael Phelps been winning so long, when they can't, win anymore? They're gonna start fearing the competition.
Hey, and I'm gonna get political. Think about this. We didn't hear shit from Donald Trump until a black man became president, and that started looking like an even playing field. And at this point, that man is so engulfed in what this man did all these years ago. You can't stop talking about it. You can't stop trying to discredit what he can do, so you can put yourself further up on this pedestal and be ahead.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
And to just kind of bring it back full circle, at the end of the day, if you choose to go ahead and to date someone of a different race, you do need to learn about the culture, learn about the history. Especially if you're going to go ahead and to try to seriously date someone, eventually have kids, you need to know where they came from, where they're going, and to be able to go ahead and even to raise your children and to be able to relate to your spouse. So it's just something extra to think about if you decide to date interracially. Okay,
that's good stuff. I'll say I'll spend 1 minute on this, probably 30 seconds. But briefly, in my younger years, in my 20s, I did actually have I dated a Caucasian girl, and it wasn't like it was one of those Caucasian girls that was kind of so accustomed to being around us, and you can hear them talk like us and things like that. It was like a regular, in her system type of white girl. It was a little bit different. I felt a little bit. I mean, she was cool, like really cool, good people. I think about it to this day. Sometimes it's like, how cool she was. But
if I was like, I'd knock your head off your neck. But go ahead.
Nah, because at the end of the day, I've been with this one too long for her to worry about somebody I was with 6 months. So you know what I'm saying? I provide security.
Not paying all the bills.
But nah.
Oh shit. Go left.
So check this out. So anyway, I know how it feels. I felt a certain type of way. I did feel like sometimes that maybe she couldn't have understood like what I was going through, how I was feeling, and and things like that. But okay, good advice. I appreciate you guys. So my surprise topic is, I want to know, how do you tell a friend, or how do you tell somebody you care about? Maybe y'all have like a certain relationship, or maybe the relationship is not as tight yet. How do you tell them that some shit is wrong with them? Like if it's like, if they wearing a fucked up outfit, if they got like boogers and shit in their nose, if like they shit ain't on point, just like whatever it is that's messed up about your friend. How do we do that? Like, are we doing that now with people that you say you're cool with, or are you just letting shit slide just to make sure that y'all don't have a rift in the relationship? What's the thoughts on that? I'm starting with Alicia. We'll start with Alicia this time.
Go.
It depends on the level of the relationship. Like, if we just kind of get to know each other, we just getting cool. I mean, unless you ask me for my opinion, I'm not going to go ahead and to solicit it. Now, if you got some shit in your nose or something like that, now I'm gonna have to go ahead and talk to you, because I'm either gonna be staring at your nose the whole time you talk.
Hey,
and I can't stop looking at it.
It's so funny you say that.
So some shit like that's fucked off, I'm gonna let you know. But as far as trying to go ahead and to tell you your style is fucked off, or your man ain't shit, something like that, no.
I'm saying, when I say not your man ain't shit, but to be honest with you, you need to tell him if a man ain't shit. But if I'm just saying, like, if it's something fucked up, like if y'all ain't cool, like, just say for instance, it's you and your friend Kim, and y'all go out to a club. Kim bring one of her friends, and y'all introduce each other. Y'all be like, okay, girl, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Now that night y'all cool, but you notice that her tampon out. Are you saying, hey, girl?
Yes.
You gonna
Now
tell her?
that's a certain code I think that exists with women. When it's some shit like that's fucked off, is throwing your look off.
Right.
Hell yes, I'm gonna go ahead and discreetly let you know.
So she got a fucking outfit for her. Like if she built like this, and she got on spandex and stuff like that, and or outfit
That ain't got
right.
nothing to do with me.
Oh, that's so wrong. All right, Chris, what's your
Wow. So first and
God.
foremost, yeah, and it's funny that Alicia started her story out the way that she did, because it just brings me back to where a transition point in my life where I feel like I have to keep it real with a lot of people. I remember being in the store talking to matter of fact, I think I was checking out, and it was like maybe like a cashier or something. She was like, "Excuse me, David, but you got a booger in your nose." And I was like, you know what? That's some G shit. I appreciate that. Because a lot of folks wouldn't let me walk around with that in my face.
Friends, people you consider friends would have let you walk around with that shit in your nose, man. You know what I mean? That is so wild. So are you comfortable with saying, hey, take that shit off? Or like say me and you cool. So me and Chris guys. So me and Chris say, me and Chris we out or whatever. And Chris said, hey man, that shit. I guess guys are different because we'll talk about your ass.
Yeah, bro, that shit ugly as hell.
Getting on each other though.
What?
Who, us? As far as
yes, and at least I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna transition into that. So that's good. I like that you brought that up.
All right, so we got about 2 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how we transition. I think we transition like one day because we always jump with each other. So we just used that and leaned into it because at that time we built them up enough rapport to where we could say,
But it didn't take long. It didn't take long.
I don't think it did. I think that it was. I guess you know what? I don't think the friendship made it happen. I think the asshole in us made it happen. Before the thought of the friendship, it was like
we assholes first.
I'm just gonna be right first and foremost. So I think we were just like, hey, I'm just gonna tell her about it today. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna tell Will about this shit today. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think we just like stopped giving a fuck until we gave a fuck. Right? We were like, we don't give a fuck, but I'm gonna be an asshole because I give a fuck at this point. You know what I mean?
And there was no progression. It was just straight.
And from that point, I think that's what locked us in all together because we realized that guess what? These people are gonna tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, and the sweet. That's a fact. And they don't give a fuck about my feelings. That's right. But at the same time, they care about your feelings. That's why they telling you about the shit. Yeah. Not really. Actually, I want to laugh first. That's a fact. We're gonna laugh at your ass first. That's first and foremost. That got to get out the way first. Yeah, so I'll probably tell Will to look at it before you fix it. Because I want him to laugh and see it first. And then I'm going to tell you. That's a fact. And then look, I'll take a picture and show you your own shit. Like, hey, this is how you look.
But I think that honesty, though, that raw honesty is what can go ahead and to build a long-lasting friendship. Because that's like a lot of people that's supposed to really be friends and can't be 100 with each other. So I think that eventually, as you kind of build levels with people, then our energy was just different. It just was. Yeah, it was. But most people can't take that kind of honesty. And that's I think what really was, like you said, was the attraction to the friendships because it was like, man. I know it is. I see it. But hey, okay, but yeah, that's what attracted us to the friendship. We appreciate everybody. We got to stop there. We're gonna get right back to it. We'll do a couple of more episodes here and there to get you guys some more content. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, guys. Hey, the let out. Make sure y'all go ahead and participate in the giveaway. Yeah, Zoom finna do it to us. I'll let you. Hey, quick question though, and we maybe do this on Skype. I was talking to my dad earlier, because I know you can edit this shit out. Okay. Hey, my dad, I was talking to him about this. Zoom ain't gonna let you get it out. Just wait till you call the team. Huh? When you refer to the team, how do you refer to us? Every time I pull up at the let out, it's a spectacle.